Hey guys, so yesterday my toddler woke up from her nap. Now I've been hearing about this, I've been hearing about it happening, and that kids wake up and they're totally feral, right? They're totally losing it, almost acting like they're possessed or something. But I've never really experienced it, and I've never really known like how to handle it because I've never seen it. So my daughter wakes up from her nap that I thought was a good nap, an hour nap, the nap she refused to go to in the first place, that I had to kind of cajole her to go, put her in bed, make it all conducive, make it all dark, and then, cool and cozy and put her in bed, and she had this nap, right? Then she wakes up totally losing it, crying for almost 1 hour straight. I literally thought she was possessed or something. I thought maybe because she was alone in the room, some spirit or demon got into her, because I tell you, I have never seen it happen. Now, I couldn't take out my phone to record her because in that moment of distress, I don't think it was the right time to bring out my phone and record her being in that distress. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking as an adult, or like someone, if I was going through distress and someone was recording me, she's 2 years old. I think she's starting to understand stuff. And someone was recording me, I think I was going to totally freak out even more. So I just thought, okay, maybe I just respect that about her, that even though she's a child, she still deserves that respect. So I couldn't record it. But when I tell you that this meltdown was insane, at some point I was almost praying, like, okay, it's something really going on with you. And I I was, doing something with beans. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make some meal. I was making beans, right? And she picks up the bowl where I was putting the beans and she threw it across the room. That was my 13th reason. When you've been going through the day and you've been having like a rough day, things have just not been going okay. You've been having some form of thoughts, and then something just happens and you can literally almost throw yourself through the balcony. That's what I thought. But in that moment, I've never been prouder of myself that I was able to keep it together and not literally scream, because I held my head and the next thing I was going to do was like scream out. But I was proud of myself that I kept it together, because I know sometimes it's even hard for me. I can talk, I can communicate, but I know it's hard for me to express my emotions when I'm going through some form of distress. So I was imagining a 2-year-old going through that distress. How do I expect her to like use her words or put herself together? Sometimes we expect things of kids that we can't even do ourselves as adults. So I kept it together, and I just let her have that moment. My husband, being the calm person that he is, did everything he could, and this girl wouldn't stop. He took her away, changed position, changed sceneries, took her to the room, took her outside, did everything he possibly could, and this girl wouldn't stop. And then at some point, she came out and said she wanted to give me a hug. And then I don't know if I was a trigger. The moment she saw me, she started to scream and cry again. And I was like, anyways, long story short, I brought her to like what I was doing and try to distract her. So I made her do stuff with me, put her hands in water. I don't know if that calmed her down. I put her hands in water. I let her participate in what I was doing, act like she was cooking, gave her some ingredients to put in the pot, let her turn on the pressure pot. I just let her just participate in whatever I was doing. I think that kind of took her mind off of it a little bit. But throughout the day, I noticed she wouldn't play, she wouldn't really laugh. She would try her best to play, but if you made her laugh, she would just like turn away and just hide her face. I think she was still processing that emotion. I mean, it took a lot for me to kind of sit back and think. It was also a teachable moment for me too, to sit back and think that, well, sometimes we kind of expect things of people and expect them to know better, or expect them to know what to do, and they don't meet up to that expectations, and then we get frustrated because they're not made up to our expectations. But then again, we never know how this person is coping in that moment, right? We never know what's really going on in their life, what's going on in their mind that they can't even put to words. So I think one of the biggest lessons from yesterday was giving people grace, right? Giving people grace, letting people kind of have their moment. I know sometimes it's difficult because we think that people should understand us, people should also be understanding and not lash out. I get it, but not every time a person will be able to keep it together. It's not always that a person will be able to like act the bigger person, be mature, be more logical. It doesn't always work like that. Not to talk of kids, right? I know I grew up in a home where if that was happening in my home, now my parents would give you something to cry about, right? But I feel like I'm healing my inner child and, like people say, breaking curses by, you know, giving my daughter a safe space, letting her have those emotions and seeing and modeling calmness, and her dad also modeling that calmness to see that it's okay to freak out, but you know, if you see that other people are calm, you can also be calm, right? And hopefully as we go on, if more meltdown happens, we're able to regulate better, both of us, you know, we co-regulate, and she's also able to learn and model some better behaviors. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you.